Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at what sold and I'm going to ship on video so you can see some of my fabulous shipping techniques here at Vintage Classic Solutions. I'm your host EJ Parker. Thanks for joining us today. I've been busy in the store doing a lot of promotional, just videos for YouTube, producing and stuff. So I need to go out and source today at some point, but I need to pack and keep my customers happy. So let me show you how I do that. This, who I sold today. Last night I sold this vintage ceramic coffee filter by a company called Kent. This is from the 1940s or 50s, mid-century. And I sold a pair of my old blue jeans. These are my personal blue jeans. These are size that they're too big now, so I sell them. You know, I don't buy a lot of clothes, and I just sell what I don't wear anymore, and I just buy a little bit, and it's okay. So how do I ship this? This is made of ceramic. I'll show you how I ship this. I was gonna get some paper. And in my store, on eBay, which this is what, where I sell. I sell on Etsy too, but not a lot. But on eBay, I say in my store a little like mantra or whatever that I use clean recycled shipping goods. I don't, go out and buy new shipping things. I think it's wasteful. But I also don't use dirty or, like dirty food boxes. Everything I use is, clean and dry. Because my personal opinion, I worked in corporate America for just 4 years, and I didn't like it at all, so I quit. But I saw the waste involved, like a huge company, like all the paper waste, and that's just what I saw. I mean, what didn't I see? Like just like huge, like blue, like just like half dumpsters full of scrap paper, and it's all like pizza party Thursday. Or, some stuff like that. It's just like tons of paper going to waste. So this is what I do to kind of counterbalance that. How do I get my cardboard? Like my store, let me show you what I do. In my store, the inner sanctum of Vintage Classic Solutions, you see all that cardboard I have? I just compile it. I just cut it up so it collapses, and then I just store it because you'll always need it, right? So what I'm doing here is this. I got this long strip of cardboard, and I'm just cutting these little slits into the sides. So when I'll show you. So here's my ceramic coffee filter. I'm gonna place it here. It's got some paper to wrap, to keep it from clinking around. I'll add a little bit more. All right. So that won't kind of clink around and ship itself in the mail. And I just roll it like so. And you can tuck these corners while you roll if you want, or do it afterwards. I do this for like really expensive vases, for chalkware statues that are yay big. This works for like swung vases, mid-century swung vases that are, 2 feet tall. I use the same method and I've been successful. Where's my tape? Tape's so important. Where'd it go? Here we go. I always say you're only as good as your tape in the reselling world, because when it comes to antiques, you might go out and source the best antiques. You might list them, you might get the highest price, and then when you ship it, if your tape sucks and it falls apart in transit and your item breaks, then all that work was in vain for nothing. So tape's important. When I lived in China, I experienced some really cheap tape, let me tell you. You want to talk about thin? So, you gotta be careful with your tape, you don't want to spend too much, but you don't want to get the cheapest tape possible because your stuff will fall apart. So, as you can see, the sides are like, this is the way you want it to be. A little bit of give, so if it hits, if it falls, it'll cushion it. It's like egg drop, science Olympiad, 6th grade, right? Life skills. Just protect the corner, and then I fold a few slots over, and then okay, and then this is gonna go in the box full of just scrap, just paper, and that's it. And even in the box now, like if it's like touching the sides, I don't mind as much with this because I know there's like that much on each side of paper, newspaper, and cardboard. So that can be an issue that when you put a vase right up against a cardboard box, you have no wiggle room if that gets hit in transit, which it probably will. And that'll just simply crack the vase or give like a spiderweb crack, or your bottle or whatever fragile item you have. So what I do also, a little trick is this. I always reinforce the corners. I'll just slide in some extra cardboard, because that's, if something's gonna go wrong, it's gonna be there. And I've had people, not to blow my own horn, but I've had people write to me saying, "Thank you, Vintage Classic Solutions. When I received the package in the mail, it was smashed, and I assumed the vase inside was destroyed. But when I opened it, it was the vase was still intact, but the packaging was smashed." So I'm happy that worked out for my customer. So now it looks like this, right? You have the reinforcement in the corners, plus that inch or two on both sides. And then I just stuff it with scrap paper. How's your day going? I got up at 4 a.m. with a lot of energy, and I got a lot of ideas. And you gotta strike when the iron's hot. That's how I operate. So if I have ideas for YouTube or for my store or whatever, music, I gotta do it when I have the idea. All right, so it's stuffed in there with paper now on the top and bottom. And then a little thing you can do is just add an extra scrap of cardboard, just in case something drops on it, or because, let me take this up. I know at my post office, I know they're all different, but like I have this big slot, and you put your package in there and you drop it, and then it falls. And I've looked, I go every day, trust me. I look like what goes on in the other realm, behind the inner sanctum of the post office, and usually there's like a big like mesh, like dumpster thing, and it falls in, and it's okay. It's cushioned by the mesh, catch thing, or the other packages. But sometimes when they're really busy around the holidays, especially like around now, there'll be nothing, just like the ground. So this is gonna fall 3.5 feet. So I mean, that's how I prep myself, because it's got a long, if this is going from like Ohio to Alaska, it's got a long journey. So it's gotta, get off on the right foot. And if it breaks immediately right at the first drop, you're not packing right. So you gotta think like egg drop, how to drop an egg without it breaking, kind of thing. So that's pretty much it. For the coffee filter. For those of you who've been participating in my YouTube polls, thank you, my odd and obscure polls. Right, fragile. Those are really fun and interactive. It's a great way to be interactive with my viewers, so I can learn more about you and you can learn more about me. All right, I'm just covering up a few, the old merchant markings, just for whatever. All right, just some tips. I'll do the jeans next. So when you're shipping, so resellers who may be new to this, check my pockets for an old Babe Ruth or a diamond ring, which I don't have, but you never know, right? $5 bill, nothing. All right. So when I started out, I made some mistakes, and I learned, like in shipping, like you can't use like used wine boxes for shipping. Like, so say for example, I put this in like a Ferranti wine box or whatever and taped it up, it would come back to me because the post office, the United States Post Office, has to assume there's alcohol in there, and then you have to have like the sign, like the receiver sign for it. It's like a different kind of procedure. So if you ship something, don't use an alcohol box, and if you do, you gotta tape it up and cover it up because they'll ship it back. This stuff is really easy. I don't sell clothing, honestly. I'm not a clothing reseller. I sell like maybe 2 pieces a year, and this is one of them. Clothing is great because it doesn't break in the mail. But I know a lot of people, a lot of my friends around, they do full-time clothing, and I don't. I do a few vintage things, but it's just something I don't do. All right, so I'm just gonna wrap these up to keep them in case it rains, that kind of thing. And then for extra, just whatever support, and do that. This cardboard. And then I always keep, you know, whenever I get books in the mail or whatever, I always keep the envelopes because, you know, who wants to buy envelopes if you don't have to? I just make sure the address, I protect my customers and, you know, whoever's receiving or whatever. Cover that stuff up. And then, yeah, like clothing is really easy in my opinion. I'm just doing this. Just I make sure these are empty. You never know. Like a receipt or some, I don't know, comic book still in there. And then that's it. This is really easy. Just tuck it. I have a bunch of these envelopes just around, you know, because again, it adds up. I ship thousands of things a year. Shipping's got to be my highest bill in my reselling endeavor, my antique dealing, vintage reselling endeavor. By far, shipping. My packaging is all free. I use recycled things. I ask stores, may I have this or that? And I think some of the stores call me the box guy. I know that. I'm onto that. They call me the box guy because I'm so prolific in my box consumption. It's like every day I'm like, hey, may I have those boxes? Like every day, rain or shine, I'm there. And it's cool. That means I'm selling. So I'm happy to be the box guy, you know. And I'm happy not to waste all that crap. You know what I mean? Like companies pay people to take that stuff away. So, you know, I'm happy to get that stuff out of their way and out of the wherever it's gonna go, and I use it, and hopefully my customers reuse it. All right, so this is taped. I'm just gonna retape it one more time so it's not flopping around, and that's it. And then I'll get the labels on there. So as far as my and one down the middle. That's it. Those are safe and secure. They'll go out first thing tomorrow morning. I'm expecting sales to pick up now. We're at the fourth quarter, Christmas. So things usually pick up and all of a sudden I'm slammed shipping stuff, which is great. I'll maybe film some more shipping. I think I hope I can offer some tips to antique and vintage resale folks. My polling results, I want to I want to do those live. Last time, you know, it's I'm working it out. I'm doing it on my store now, but this is recorded on my phone. Like, I need to work the Wi-Fi out in my shop. It's I like to film in here because I have more props to show, like, you know, just all kinds of stuff. So, but I want to do it maybe every 15 polling questions, because if I don't want to wait till there's 20 or 30, it gets out of hand. I want to kind of keep it every 15. So, that'll be coming up probably sooner than later, so stay tuned for that. And let me think what else. I'm gonna be doing a lot of shorts today on YouTube, and a lot more probably videos, because I'm going through a lot of stuff now that I've kind of moved operations inside. In Ohio, it's getting cold, so I'm moving things inside, my shop operations, and I'm rediscovering things that that I haven't seen. So I've been outside all summer. So whatever I discover, I'll share with you. And as always, thank you for checking in.